Senate confirmation, the interests were still pushing that his name be removed. So you can imagine when you're giving all assurances, oh, your name has been penciled down, you put the heat on till you announce and you have assumed position.
Yeah, David Lyon comes to mind. Amici, good morning, Chebe, and once again, a behalf of activities, the residents.
I think it was Gosdale Rubebe, the minister from Delta State, that happened at the State House at Abuja.
Okay, yeah. With the behalf of activities, the residents of the president-elect, Amici, as you have rightly said. But one thing that struck me is when you remember 10 Downing Street in UK, you go to the president-elect, you see number 10. What's that street again, David? I know number 10. The name of the street, the house is number 10, just like 10 Downing Street, the Prime Minister's residence in the UK. So it shows probably that the president-elect has this ambition long before now, and strategically some things fall in place. It is now you see or you hear those that are the entrance to the residence saying, yes. Do you know who I am? Yes. A lot of do you know who I am will be flying in the air around the essence of the president-elect, Amici. Older politicians, younger politicians, disregarding the manifesto of our president-elect who has promised to carry young persons along. I saw persons that have been PDP national chairman, that have been senator for how many years, running back to see Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to lobby.
Do you know why? Are they going to offer advice or to lobby for? Are they going to lobby for themselves or to lobby for others?
Amici, let me give you a little breakdown.
How are they up to 80? Because the current US President Joe Biden is 80, and he announced yesterday that he was going to recontest. Yes. By the time the election will hold in 2024, he'll be 81.
I have no issues against anybody. Barnabas Gemade is how old, for example? He was former national.
You saw him there?
Yeah, he was around the house there. And
maybe to say hi to an old pal and associate.
Well, but you know that we have relations with how many countries around the world. Ambassadorial appointments are there. You have chairman of boards. Just the universities alone, you have about 100 federal universities. Somebody can just sit there as the chairman of a board. So those are the things they are lobbying for. For the ministerial appointment, those are the big fish. Those are the big caps in the appointment.
Who again was seen there? David, did you sack
an older person? No.
Abuli is the one who was interested.
Well, I said
I don't know. And they have beamed it on. He even know the street number. Abuli, are you sure you've not got to negotiate? For yourself?
You know, yesterday we prophesied. You say you don't want Minister of Information, you want petroleum. David is very comfortable with agriculture, and I'm very comfortable with digital technology.
Did you work for the party?
We are working here.
The party people will tell you can't come and feed where you harvest where you did not farm.
Yeah,
those who are going to see the president elect were part of the in one word or other they brought votes. The one word or other they campaigned. They supported.
I disagree with you. I disagree with Tebe. Yes. See, I worked very well for the president-elect, directly or indirectly.
Yes.
We were here when they said he wasn't feeling fine to even go for the primaries, and some of us said no. So far, his brain can think.
So
Yaradua was asked.
I thought
Obasanjo asked Yaradua
you were going to say that usually those that work to bring in a government are not those that work for the government in office. Because the motives are different. If you're going for campaign, there are some persons you look for, those that are grassroots mobilizers, those that have experience in that can easily give you all you want. But when you want to run a government, those that run your campaign may not necessarily, not all of them, but there's also need to headhunt. And that's always the challenge for a president or a governor. You have failed when you present your team when you make your team known to Nigerians. They will know the capacity of people you have named to deliver. And you have succeeded if you get the right team. Getting a mix of politicians and technocrats, but more of for sensitive positions, you give it to technocrats who were never part of your party, who were never part of your campaign, but who have value to offer, not just for the party. We are talking about service to the country. Governments limit themselves when they restrict themselves to party men. There was a time even the current Senate president appointed a special advisor on media who many believed was critical of the APC. APC supporters descended on him. They put pressures on the Senate president, and unfortunately, he capitulated. He hearkened to their decision and appointed someone that he believed is one of their own. And that is where the problem starts.
Not even the party.
You have to, a president or whoever is in authority must learn how to put your feet down and say, for this position, I want the best, those that will deliver value.
The president has said he is going to carry the mantra of competence, government of national competence, not the government of, to improve on the government of national unity. That is where, let me digress a little. That is where I pick holes, where some people are saying that some regions are not included in the 1 week inauguration committee. For heaven's sakes, yes, actually, one would have thought that at a time like this, where some persons see Nigeria as highly divided, religiously and otherwise, a committee of that nature, 14 members, should accommodate the 6 geopolitical zones and an equal distribution of religious representation. But that didn't happen. But be that as it may, I don't want to see, people shouldn't see this one as how the president wants to govern the country. It's this committee, he can take his kitchen cabinet people to organize that 1 week event. So it's not issue of saying that the Southeast was left out. No, we are overheating the polity. That's how I view it, and that is how it should be seen. Wait until the appointments are done. The president in 2015 came up to say that
happened with Muhammad Buhari.
Yeah, that's what I was driving at.
He said, 5%. Wait, there are other multi-positions. And that trend appeared to continue. Well, you rightly said he has the right. Yes, as the president-elect, he has the right. But is it a national appointment, a national assignment? Yes. A national assignment. Are they supposed to reflect national character? Well, we'll leave that answer to you. But talking of, just to also raise some other issues, those that were appointed, screened and confirmed by the Senate, recall the members of the board of the NDDC. The members of the board of NDDC, constituted by the president, their names announced publicly, or nominated by the president. They went for screening in the Senate. They were confirmed and awaiting inauguration. The president said no. Counter pressures came and they were never inaugurated. As we speak, they have not been inaugurated.
A different board was nominated, yes, confirmed, and
from
the board has been appointed.
Interim management board to a new board. So
the one headed by this woman, the Loretta,
yes,
were they screened by Senate?
Yes, they were screened.
So the other board is there.
In limbo.
We had such an issue in the Ministry of Aviation and Labour, where this former Labour leader was appointed as the chairman of one of the boards in the Paraceta, and the minister did not inaugurate the board. He has his reasons. The same thing with Hadi Serika in
even NSITF.
That was what,
NSITF.
That is where they had issues with Adam Shomole then, when he was the chairman of APC, and he felt as a Labour leader, this is his constituency, and what's this Labour leader name from Delta State?
For NSITF,
Ngige had his position. Ngige had his
the
defense,
vice president was the acting president then. He did the nomination of members of the board. The minister for Labour and Employment, Ngige, put his feet down and said, no, I will not inaugurate. Because based on the laws establishing NSITF, I'm to advise the president. And he has not sought my advice. And he refused. The president came back from medical treatment, assumed office, and stood with Ngige, aligned with Ngige. And a new board was constituted. But Teve, in all this, whenever you see appointment made, the government changing minds, it depicts unpreparedness on the part of the government, confusion along the corridors of power. Due diligence must be done. All consultations must be done before a finality is reached. Where you see otherwise, it tells you about the competence, capacity of the government in question.
Amechi, you may be right, you may be wrong, because it's possible that after the clearance and all of that, something was discovered, an issue came up.
Something like
you are talking of competence, you are talking of capacity. Maybe one or two issues came up and they say, okay, we need to.
That means they didn't do due diligence.
It's not only
there are processes for appointment, including the DSS screening.
It's the same issue we're having with.
Let's take a line.
I agree with you. But this is politics, and anything can happen. You also mentioned the issue of technocrats and all. Those technocrats are nominated by people. You know, and the persons that nominate them in one way or the other have something to do with the party. You know, the president doesn't know everybody in Nigeria. He can't, but if recommendations are made to him, you know, it will happen. Take the case of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, for instance. You need to know his relationship with the late Chief of Staff. Abba Kyari, how, you know, they were...
One was best man to the other.
You know, he was not a member of the APC, but the fact that Abba Kyari became Chief of Staff and all of that, he nominated him, whether Enugu
suspended him,
liked it or not, he became the leader of the party.
But the party said they suspended him. How true is that?
That is a different thing altogether. But what I'm trying to point out is, you know, in one way or the other, the technocrats we talk about also have one relationship or the other.
Yes.
You know, and don't forget some of them, that we know, like those who prepared the manifesto of the president-elect or the other candidates and all of that. You may not see them on TV, you may not see them everywhere and all of that. They are technocrats in their own right. They were brought in to prepare all of this, and you know, so when their names start coming up, you say, well, this one is, you know, but one way or the other, something has happened. But like what we were saying, whatever it is, whoever nominates who and all of that, the buck stops on the table of the president.
As the clearing house.
And that is not just him. We're talking of the president-elect now, the governors-elect. You know, they also have a huge responsibility, and that is where we have 36 of them, including those that were re-elected, 28 or thereabout, that will be making you know, fresh appointments and all of the team they put together. If you, like, it was on Friday or Monday, we're discussing career politicians. They will put in all of career politicians, and you will have challenges. They cannot deliver. That is just the truth. You must look. There should be certain ministries or certain places.
There should be a mix.
You know, but the key ministries, the education, health, agriculture, and look for competent persons who can deliver so that we can get the job done.
No doubt the buck stops on the desk of the president, but that is why we agree with the executive order that said president-elect or governors-elect must appoint their ministers, commissioners in the first 30 days?
No, it's a constitution. It's not a constitution amendment.
So the ministers are there to assist the president. He wouldn't know everybody. Just like I was trying to say the other time, there are 6 new polytechnics created, and the workers are saying that these persons are not competent to be rectors of polytechnic. And the president is a visitor to this polytechnic. Does it mean that the president must know those people? Is the minister in charge? The minister has a director. The minister has a director of tertiary that should go around and see this person that are competent. Then they submit to the minister before ever the president sees it. So we shouldn't push everything to the buck of the president, or the buck stops.
No, the stops of the buck.
Yeah, I know. But the one who hires,
should we stop in your own desk?
You have subordinates that's supposed to be declaring.
No, it's his responsibility to get the right subordinates. That's why those around the
that is even a problem in itself.
Did somebody not nominate who do
Harry as right?
Today is the responsibility of the president to ensure that he's moved.
Since Obasanjo, we always hear, it happened with Yar'Adua, Jonathan, Buhari. The president is a good man, but those around him are bad. Who put those around the president? Is it you or I? It's the president that puts those people around him. And that's the cabal, the kitchen cabinet, whatever we call it. These are the people that, before the president writes signs of anything, they are the ones with him. So they are the ones that have greatest influence in him. And the success or failure of a president starts with those around him or her. So if you put the wrong persons and they make mistakes, you take the stick. If you place the right persons around you and that share your philosophy and ideals and they succeed, you take the commendation. So we must locate the blame or commendation wherever it is.
And he mentioned Barnabas. I think I need to also address it. Barnabas
he's trying to hand the program over to
he's 74.
Yes.
Your Adams Oshomole is 71. He's going to.
Which one is his Adams? Why are you attributing Adams?
He's from his place.
Adams Oshomole
is a senator.
He's how old?
He's a former party chairman. He's 71. He's a former party chairman. He's a former two-time governor. He's now going to Senate.
Former Labour president.
And comes to equity, must come weekly.
You didn't hear from me. We have a lot of political ages all around there. You didn't hear from me anyway.
Let's share some of the mails we have sent to her.